Okay, let me start the recording. Okay, you guys. So I am so excited to have Amanda on. She is amazing. We have gotten a lot of opportunities to get together and to hang out and all this kind of stuff. She was at the Top 20 retreat with us. Gosh, she was in Arizona with us. She was all over the place. So, and I love this too because it was kind of like Brittany. You know, I didn't know who you were. I think so. I'll just let you share your story, but share when you started and just go through all of the goods, where you were, where you came from, what you've accomplished, everything like that.
Okay, perfect. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. It's such an honor to be on your team. I just love you to pieces. I know my team just loves you too. So I have been doing this business for 6 years, you guys. When I started, I worked full time as a dental hygienist. So I 100% understand some of you guys who may work full time and you just started this business and you're trying to juggle both of them. I totally understand how that is because I was there. And so I started this business just to make, $200 or $300 extra a month. And, oh, hold on. Mommy's doing a Zoom meeting. Oh, good night. Sorry. Hold on, guys. Bye, baby. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Story of our lives. It's okay. This is a life we get to live. It's fine. Oh, are you muted? Hold on. Let me, hold on. I put the gallery view. Oh, okay. Is it letting you unmute? Okay, perfect.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, I started this 6 years ago, working full time, and I really just started just to make $200 or $300 extra a month. I was hoping that I could even make that much. I had no idea what I was doing, you guys. All I knew is that we had so much debt, and every single day for 2 years, I was praying for something to come about where I could stay home, because that little boy who just walked in, I missed him so much. I was working full time, and some days we would leave at 6:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't even come home till about 7 o'clock at night. And so I struggled so much. Financially, we were struggling, but what was the hardest thing was leaving him at childcare and not seeing him for an entire day and feeling like somebody else was raising him more than I was. And so my hopes was just to make that $200 or $300 extra a month. And when I say, like, Christy and I have met through events, and that, like, a lot of it works things that have been going on because we get plugged in. And when I say that is one of the most important things we can do in this business, it's because it's exactly what changed my mindset of this business. My first week, I went to a local event. It was very small. There was like 20 people there. And I remember just hearing different stories and seeing people were real and thinking, like, man, like, they didn't come from, going to school for this or having all this experience, but they're making crazy amounts of money. They're coming home to their kids. They're retiring their careers. They're paying off debt. And so I left that event, you guys. Like, I went to that event having that mindset of just wanting $200 or $300 extra a month. But I left that event thinking, like, whoa, why am I selling myself short for only wanting $200 or $300 extra a month? I want to come home to Jax. I want to come home and be that full-time mom that, is put into my heart. But I also want to provide an income for my family. And so ever since then, I said, okay, I need to get to Double Diamond as soon as possible, because that was the same amount of money that I was making as a dental hygienist. And so I just put my foot on, on the gas. I had no idea what I was doing, and my ignorance sure was on fire. So I went all the way to Double Diamond in about 5 months. And in 5 months, you guys, I was able to retire my dental hygiene career. So I got pregnant again with that second little boy who came in, Crew. And after I went down 1 day a week until they found another person. And after that, I retired. So I've been in this business for 6 years. I've been retired for 5 years. So.
I love that. You guys, it's so awesome to hear, like, just different times of when people started, because it just shares, like, there's so much opportunity. Like, we've had people on here sharing their stories, and they've been in, gosh, a year, 2 years, some people 6 years. I've been in 7 years. It just shows that, like, it's everybody's opportunities. So after that, here, let me just go right here. I wrote some things down that we had talked about. So how do you primarily grow your business?
So I do everything through social media. When I first started, it was everything and anything. So if there was, I didn't have somebody to really lead and guide me. my friend actually joined like a month and a half before. She doesn't do this business anymore. So we were kind of like the blind leading the blind. We didn't really have an upline or people to really guide us. And so our upline was YouTube. And so I was following the top leaders in this business, and literally I was doing everything, like mimicking everything that they were doing. So if they were saying to do this on social media, I was doing that on social media. If they were saying to go do launch parties, I was doing launch parties. If they were saying to go to any event, set up a booth or a table, I was doing everything and anything that they were saying because I wanted it so bad. And so I would say social media is probably 98% of my business. But I will tell you that if there's a booth or a table or anything that I can set up, I'm going to be the first one to sign up, because I really understand that, there's such value bringing somebody right in front of you, hearing them, letting them hear you speak, the excitement, taste, all that kind of stuff. But I will say now it is literally probably 98% off of social media.
Yeah.
Facebook primarily.
Oh, Facebook. Okay. That's what I was going to ask. So Facebook primarily. So do you grow your Instagram at all, or just kind of mostly just focus on Facebook?
I do both. I would say Facebook is primarily the platform that I use. However, I do use Instagram. I will post on there and I do my stories through there, but I really grow through Facebook.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome to know, because I'm always telling everybody, like, hey, you might as well just do both because it's there, and it sounds like that's kind of what you're doing. Like, you're getting the people from Facebook, but you're still just throwing it up on Instagram because why not? You know what I mean? So if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll ask her once I'm done asking the questions, and I'll just, have her answer those for you too. So this is always like a big question of mine, because I preach it, but totally be honest with what you do. Do you reach out to people, or do most people come to you?
So I can tell you guys exactly what I do. All of my distributors are pretty much people who come to me. I sign anywhere from 10 to 20 distributors every single month, and they're all people who are from my stories or my post, and they're really reaching out to me. However, I do ask a lot. So every single day for my customers, I get my customers from Host to Post. I get my customers from my stories, and I'm always asking them, I'm always the one messaging them and asking them or giving them that information. So I would say it's a combination of both. I'm always asking people to be a distributor, but typically what I do is I reach out and I have people, I send messages to people to Host to Post for me, and those give me my customers. And I probably sign about, an average of 60 customers a month probably. And
amazing.
The next day, I will ask every person who Host to Post for me if they're interested in joining the business. And so I do ask, but I will say that just kind of plants a seed in their head. And then as they start to see my posts and my stories, then they'll end up reaching out to me. But I would say majority of my distributors are coming from like stuff that they're seeing and consistency.
Okay, I love that, because that's what I always feel like, sometimes when we do Host to Post, we have all this interest and we're like, but I have all this interest and I haven't really signed anything yet. So this might be a question that you don't really know the answer to, but do you feel like there's kind of a time frame of when you ask someone to when they're watching you and when they actually join?
I think it varies between every single person. But I will tell you that, like, if they're interested, if it perks their interest, I would say within the next couple of months, they'll probably sign. If not, some people will sign right on the spot. And so it's just, they need that information. They need to feel that this business is going to bring value to them. They need to have that information. And so that's how they feel that, this business could actually, do something for me when they see it through my life. And so that's why it's so important to be consistent with our posting, so important to be consistent with the stories that we're doing. And then most importantly, to not let them fall between the cracks and to follow up. All the time I'll say, every week our team does an opportunity Zoom. We jump on Facebook, we do a live, and we talk about the business. We just talk about our stories. And so every week, I'll be like, hey, we have a Zoom or a live coming up. Are you able to jump on it? Or I'll share that to them. They're always hearing from me. And so I think once they figure out that this business, that they can get value from this business, they're in. When they feel that something that I said or what we're doing or how we're living could be their life, they're immediately in. It's not about the money. It's not about the $99 or the $69. People will come up with that money. It is so crazy how somebody would say, oh no, I can't afford that keto coffee. But then when you offer them the business, they can afford the $99, so they just have to find the value, whether it's in the products or in the business. And they really do that through us.
I love that. That's so true. Like we've had people who I know have literally like sold their plasma to get started in the business. And I've also had potentials that said they want this so bad and then they go get their nails done. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So there's some really good questions, but I'm going to ask you one personally first. So with Host-A-Post, so you sign an average of 60 customers a month with Host-A-Post. And obviously that starts to grow your network with potential distributors and all that kind of stuff. Now, how many people do you say you would message each day for Host-A-Post so that you're not like getting blocked from messaging? Or do you have a system? You make sure they are your friend first before you message them? Just what's your kind of system with Host-A-Post?
So I do only ask people who are my friends to post for me. And so I will only message about 30 people at a time. And so I just send them a quick message like, hey, we're doing a drawing this month. Would you mind posting this for me? And I would say I get about 10%. I always tell my team, you're going to get about 10% return to say yes, 10 to 20%. So if I send out, like this morning, we sent out 30 messages on our Power Hour and I had 6 people say yes, that they'll post for me. So, it's just that numbers game. But I will say that I probably send out my every day, like my thing is I want to get at least 10 people to post for me. That is my number. And 10 people to post for me, because I know when I get 10 people to post for me, I'm signing about, 3 to 5 people every single day, when it's like that trickle effect. So if every day I'm sending out Host-A-Post 10 people are posting for me every single day, that is so many new potentials coming in every single day. So it's this trickle effect. So all those potentials that I had from the first, they're signing up now. All those people that I said, signed up, or that I got from the second, they're going to sign up tomorrow. So it's just this trickle effect. So I always tell people, like, don't get discouraged when you start to do Host-A-Post if you're not having people right away sign up with you. Because again, it takes that consistency and it's a numbers game. So, you have to do it every single day. Get at least 10 people to host for you, or whatever number you guys have on your team. And I promise you guys will see results with it. So I will say that I probably send about 100 messages to get those 10 people to post for me.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So there's a bunch of questions, but I'm going to do the Host-A-Post ones first since we are on that. So do you use the same post for them when they're posting, and what is that post?
Yeah, I use a coffee post. That's all I do is coffee. If they've already done like the coffee post for me, like say the prior month, I'll switch it up and I'll have them do either a different picture with it, or I will have them do like a TFX or just a weight loss. So those are the two. I do TFX, coffee, and then sometimes I'll do the opportunity if I feel like that they have a really good network. And then I also like to do, if they do have a really good network, or if they have lots of friends, I will do that one post like, hey, my friend is I just partnered up with my friend, to win a $500 cash giveaway. Like, who wants to get entered in? So I'll do something like that too, just to grow my network from their network.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah, and after this, I can copy and paste my Host-A-Post that I do.
Okay, awesome, because everyone else will just blow me up for it. Okay, so this is a really good question. So if you're using primarily Facebook, you're using primarily, Host-A-Post for all your customers, how are you managing the fact that your friends list can only be at 5,000?
Yeah, it's been tricky. So I just make sure that every day that when I'm going through, like, I typically will go through and I send out messages through my active list. But at least once a day, I will go through my A through Z list, and I'll go through and I'll see like, okay, this person hasn't messaged me for months. This person like literally will not buy or join my team. So I just end up deleting people. So it's really good to not only add to your network, but really make sure that you're filtering your network with those people who just won't, they're not going to buy anything from you. They're not answering you back for like a year, those people. And sometimes you just don't know, but that's the thing. You want to always make room for new people. And I think it was Kelly Brown who said that. She always said that that fresh fish jump first. So that means like when you have new people in your network, it means that they're going to be the ones to watch you first. They're going to be the ones eager to sign up for your host to post. They're going to be the ones eager to sign up as a customer or a distributor. So.
Okay, awesome. So as far as like reaching out, so whether you're reaching out, you don't really reach out first unless they're really doing a host to post for you or whatnot, is basically what you're saying. Everybody else comes to you. So when you see someone, they do a host post for you, the next day you offer them the business, like you were saying, what message do you use to offer the business?
So I just say this. So I just say something simple like this. And a lot of times people are going to say, oh, no, I'm not interested. Some people will ignore it. But I will tell you, like, if I send out that message to 10 people, I'm going to have at least one person say, yes, send me information. And like I said, they may not sign up right then and there, but it put that thought into their head. And now they're a potentials. Now they're watching me. You know, they are somebody who I'm going to go to when we have promotions, when I have the lives. There's somebody who I'm going to go to follow up with. And so, you know, just remember that the fortune is always in the follow up. And I really find that to be true with the distributors as well. Customers, you can get customers to sign up right there on the spot. And sometimes distributors too, but I will say that it probably takes at least, you know, 7 to 12 times of following up with a distributor, a potential distributor, before they join your team. Some have like never, you know, answered my follow-ups for months and months and months. And then all of a sudden, boom, they see one of my posts that we are out and, you know, we're stuck in the house and we get to work from home and they wish that they could work from home. You know, it could just be something so simple that resonates with them that they sign up. But that is why it's so important to follow up. And I have had people where I've dropped the ball on them or they slipped through the cracks, and my follow-up message to them like a couple months later, and they're like, oh yeah, I just signed up. And I'm like, dang it, like I totally missed that because I wasn't organized or I didn't follow up with them, or, you know, so you definitely want to make sure that you're organized and follow up with all your potentials.
Yeah, it's happened to me too before and it sucks.
I know, I'm like, dang it.
It's like the worst feeling ever. You're like, I did the work. Like, you're like, I reached out. I put this plan. You guys, the seed can only be planted once. I remember someone saying years ago, you need to be the first person to ask and the last person to ask. It's not good enough to be the first person. It's funny because you would think, like, whether with Amanda or with me, like, number one, you would think, okay, obviously we've proven that this business works and that we can guide you and train you to be successful, right? But still, people need that average 7 to 12 times to follow up. They still need to see our consistent posts and stories every single day to sign up. But also, they're not just going to come back to you because you're a diamond or because you're an emerald or because you're an ambassador. They're not. Like, you, in their head, it's about them. It's not about you. So I have to follow up all the same. If I don't, they will sign up with somebody else that's brand new. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Like, it's the worst feeling ever. So I want you guys to hear what she's saying though. Like, everything she's referring to is back to being consistent with her posts and her stories. It's not good enough to follow up. It's not, because I truly believe that like those 7 to 12 personal contacts have to be followed up with your daily posts and your daily stories, because that right there is a follow-up too. I have people who have ignored me, and then they're like, all right, I saw your last post, I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, like that's all it took. But I see so many people that they get so hard on themselves. They're like, well, I followed up with her, and I go to your page and I'm like, why would anyone sign up with you? You don't even look like you're doing the business. You don't even look like you're being consistent. Like, why would they buy your product or join your team when you don't even look like you like what you're doing? You know, it's just inconsistent. Okay, let me see if there's any more questions right here. Ooh. So I think you kind of answered this. Like, when you ask people to post for you, what do you say to them to get them to post? But you said it was the giveaway one. Can you share that just so they know what that is? Because some people don't even know what host to post is yet.
I'll send it to you because it's on I do it the text or the word board from my phone. I don't know how to do it on my computer.
I'll post all of these after, you guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's see. Okay, so this is a really good one. What is your favorite personal development? Like, what do you feel like, whether someone's new or just needs that belief in themselves and signing distributors, like, what do you feel like is the biggest and most important thing they need to be doing each day as far as self-development? Is there a special book, a podcast? Like, what do you like to do?
So I think that self-development, I think it differs between what stage you're at in your business. But I always say that there are literally 3 different types of self-development. And I think that every single one of them are so important no matter where you're at in your business. It just may look different to like what you're reading versus what you're going to read when you're an ambassador or you've been in it for 6 years. And so when you first start out, and this is what I recommend to all of my newbies, is to read the book Go for No. It is literally one of my favorite books because it will help you just change your mindset about getting those no's, and then you'll start to want to get those no's. So that's a really good book. But the 3 different types of like self-development that I've kind of broken it down to, and I truly believe that we need these every single day in our business. One is going to be something like this. Something where you are staying close to the fire, you're coming to your team trainings, you're coming to things that Christy or your uplines are offering, you're coming to a local event, you're learning something about the business that's going to help you grow as a distributor, as a leader, something to help you get customers, help you get distributors, give you new ideas, like keep that fire in you. And then there's something where, it's more of a spiritual self-development. So maybe like for me in the morning, I do the Miracle Morning. Have any of you guys heard of that before? It is so amazing, you guys. I will say it literally brought me from getting paid as a double to going ambassador in 1 year. So it completely changed my business. And so Miracle Morning is so amazing. It's a book that you read and you just follow the the guidelines to it. But during the Miracle Morning, I am journaling, I am praying, I'm visualizing. And so I really truly believe that is another type of self-development that is so important in this business. And so just getting down to the spiritual, being and like what you're wanting. And for me, I just truly believe that I am here because the Lord has brought me here, and I wouldn't be Ambassador Diamond if he was not leading the way. And so I just don't think that we can do this on our own. We really need, that. So I think that that's another type of self-development. And then the third type is going to be by reading books. It's going to be by listening to podcasts. It's going to be by, doing like listening to an Audible, that kind of thing, where you can learn how to grow as a leader, where you can learn how to be the best human being that you can be, where you can learn how to get your mind right, where if you, have a bad day, how can you, not just react to that, so things like that, like how can you improve in your life by doing certain things. So I guess like self-help books, right? But and I truly believe that we need all 3 of those in order to get a full like fulfillment in self-development. And so I would say you could do all of that in 1 hour, you guys, and you can do it while you're busy. And so you can do it on the way to your work. You can do it, driving in the car with your kiddos. Like my kids always are like, oh, what do we listen to now? They're like, we don't like this. Or, I'm just like, shh, mommy's listening. So, you can listen to it in the shower. You can listen to it while you're getting ready. There's so many times in your days where you can listen to something like this. You don't have to read a book. You don't have to sit there for an hour. You can do it in the midst of your day.
I love that so much, you guys. And honestly, guess what? Everything comes back to this. Every single thing. You want to sign? Get your mind right. You want to get your mind. People are like, but how do I get my mind right besides personal development? Someone said that. No, that's the only way. That's the only way. It's your mind, you guys. It's so crazy. And I wrote this down, but I don't know the exact quote. It's like, we don't want to react to stuff. Like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like when you guys have your mind right, you don't react to things. You're at the forefront of it and you are ready for it. And it's just like everything going on right now. Like I didn't react to it. I'm like, no, I'm calm. I'm cool. I'm collected. I got my shiz together. Let's go. Like, I love that meme that's like, we ride at dawn, like whatever. And I'm like, that's us right now. Like we're doing it, like we're focused, we're ready. Like our company as a whole is focused and ready. And that comes through the mindset of this business, And I love that you shared like the 3 types, because those are those things like you can't go a day without these 3 things, you guys. That is the secret. it really is the secret to success in this business. And I'm totally going to get that Miracle Morning one. That sounds amazing. And just so you guys know, we have 12 books for the year, which, I mean, you can totally and should do more, but we have 12 books in the announcement section that we're doing as a team. And one of them is the Success Commandments. And so like, I truly believe like the person who wins in this business, which we all get to win, but the person who wins this business is the person who has the right mindset. That's all it is. Like, that's all it is. So, I mean, not all. You got to do the work, but you know what I mean? It's got to start with that. Okay. So somebody asked about your organization. This is something, because we were talking about the host to post and following up. How do you organize your stuff? Because I'm not a very good person to ask this question.
Yeah. I'm not the best either, but I will definitely tell you I'm like a messy organizer. So like it makes sense to me, but I'll share with you guys how I do it. I love writing stuff down. I tried like doing stuff, you know, in the iPad Pro and all that kind of stuff. And I just always go back to writing things down. I don't know why. But so what I do is I just have a planner. And so before I got this planner, I actually had my planner and then a notebook, but this actually just fulfills for both of them. So what I do is like, so let's just say it is, I'll just do January since it's right here. Let me show you.
And just so you guys know, while she's finding that, a beautiful planner does not make you successful in this business. I've seen people like, I have it already. And I'm like, girl, you ain't got no names in there though.
Yeah, exactly. I started out with, this is like so nice. And now it's like a mess. Like, I'm like, I just can't keep a nice planner. But what I do is like, see up here, I'll put on one page for January, I'll put January potential distributors. And then on a couple pages over, I'll put January potential customers. Okay, so every single time I have somebody who's interested or who says yes, or who we have had a conversation with a business or the customer or the products, their name goes in here. And so that way I know it's March. So at some point this month, I am following up with everyone from February, everyone from January, you know, and so forth. And so everyone is getting a message follow-up from me every single month. And so that's how you can make it where people don't get slipped through the cracks. And my goal every single day is to get a certain amount of potential customers and distributors. And my list is kind of big because I want to meet my criteria every single month, right? I want to keep getting those customers and those distributors. And so that's a lot to follow up with. So I just split it up each day, and I'll maybe do like 20 here or 30 here, you know, just kind of split it up each day. But then, so that's kind of how I keep track of all of my potential customers. Okay. Now, all of my customers, they are in my Connect app, and I separate them by month. So I will put all of my March customers in their own folder. That way, next month or in 3 weeks, I can go and follow up with every single one of them. It takes me 2 seconds just to be like, hey girl, how's your products going? I'm super excited for you, you know, to see those results, you know, just to follow up with them. So that's kind of how I follow up with my customers. And then just for my planner, or just for like the actual calendar part, I always say, like, if your calendar is not full of names, then you're not doing the steps that it takes every single day. Like, your calendar should be a mess like mine and can barely read, you know, it should be so full. And so this is where I'm putting people who are like, okay, Amanda, I'm signing up this day. I'm signing up this day. And so I put them right into my calendar, and that way I can follow up with them. It's the 10th. Okay, I'm going to follow up with them that day. Now, I also just always tell my team, just because they're in this section does not mean that they're going to sign up. So I don't count on them. So if I have 10 people who are going to sign up for me like tomorrow, you know, I'm not counting on those people to sign up, because I will tell you 10 people said that, but maybe 5 people will. You know, if that's a good day, maybe 5 people will. And so always, like, you know, don't ever think like, oh man, like these people are just, you know, ghosting me or anything. Like, they're gonna ghost you. And that's why you got to read that book, Go for No. But they're gonna ghost you. But you are gonna have people, when you have enough people who said yes for that day, you are gonna have several people sign up. So just remember, it's in that numbers. It's a numbers game.
I love that so much. I say all the time, like, it's so important, you guys, that we don't count on people, because I have people that are like, well, I have 3 potentials that are signing up Friday, and then I'm fully charged. And I'm like, ugh, like, I've had 10 people ready to sign up and not one of them signed up that day.
I have that one potential.
Right.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, you gotta get like 5 potentials each day. My goal is just like yours. My goal is to not only sign something each day, like whatever my number is, but it's to add to my potentials list so that I can have people signing up tomorrow and next week and whatever. And so you guys, I do love that book too, Go for No, because the thing is that it is a numbers game. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And if you can get your numbers up, a percentage will sign. A percentage do need this business, do need these products, and they will say yes to you. But if you are offering the business or to like one person a day, that's only 30 in a month. That's not very much. And then you have Amanda, where she's offering the business to 30 people a day. Who do you think's going to win? Why do you think she's ambassador, right? Like, why do you think she's top 20? It's because her numbers are higher than yours. It's because her consistency is higher than yours. It's because her calendar is full. And so I actually have a notebook just like yours. I just have a list. Like, I'm like, July people, I'm like, I can't go past that. I'm not that fancy, you guys. I don't know how you are, but if you get too fancy, you get like overwhelmed, right? Like if you get like 10 new potentials in a day, you're like, where do I put them? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, I'm just writing y'all on one list. That's it. So I love that you do it that same way. And then I just put them in my calendar in my phone so that like I can follow up with them on that day and it's just already there in my phone, you know? So, okay. Let's see here. Yes, it is recorded. Can you use the Connect app with Instagram and Facebook or just phone numbers?
I'm not very fancy with it. So I think that you can plug people in from like your Facebook link. Like you can like link it to theirs or something. But for me, it just takes a lot of time. And so I really only use my Connect app for my customers that I currently have.
Okay, awesome. Eliana says, yes, you can. But again, like I believe if you get too fancy with it, like you shut down. Like I feel like when, you know, a confused mind says no. And so keep yourself simple. And you know, whatever works for you. But it's a good question. So what day of each month do you follow up with those potentials and customers and distributors?
I follow up with people every single day. So if there's not a day that it's not just Fridays, it's just on Thursdays. If I was just to pick one day, it would literally probably take me the entire day to follow up with people. So I literally just do break it down. I follow up with everyone who, you know, said that they're going to sign up on that day. But then I also break down my list from February and January and December, and I break down that and I will follow up with them. Now, I will tell you that like when we have like a promotion, you know, I might spend, you know, I might spend a couple of hours like at nighttime or whatever the case is to let everyone know about that promotion going on. But it doesn't take that long. It's literally like a copy and paste message, you know, so it doesn't take that long. I'll throw on like a show and have on the background and I'll just bust out like, you know, several different messages. But I will tell you that like, because I know you asked this before, Christy, is like, how do you know like when to stop so you don't get blocked? I will just probably send out about 30 to 40 messages at a time. And then I'll go back and I'll like, you know, maybe do something else or maybe take a little break, maybe clean the kitchen, you know, do something else. And then I'll go back about a half an hour, you send out, you know, 30 more. So I do break it up. That way you don't get blocked.
Okay. So somebody said, how do you break down that list from the previous month? But I think she pretty much answered that. You guys, there's no like set way to do it. If somebody gives you a date, that's the date you follow up with them. If they don't give you a date, I personally don't go more than like a week without talking to them because I feel like you have to build that follow up in that relationship. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, so I follow up, especially like my really strong potentials. I actually make a little column for them. So like I'll have like a little column, let me see. So like just on the side, like if I have a really strong potential, I'll just put like strong potentials and on the column, I'll just have it. That way I'm following up with them every single week, letting them know about our lives, letting them know about, you know, whatever promotion is going on. So they're constantly hearing from me. And sometimes it's just a simple message like, hey girl, I'm just thinking about you. How are your kids? Or, you know, sometimes it's not even about the business, but as long as my face is in there, as long as my message is in there every single week or, you know, so forth, then, you know, they're going to, you know, hear from me. I will tell you that if I'm following up with them and they don't respond, and then I follow up with again and they don't respond, and then again and they don't respond, I'll put them on my monthly follow-up. So they won't be somebody I keep following up with because then again, I don't want to be like pesty and annoy them, but I will put them up on my monthly follow-up, or I'll just like be like, hey girl, I never heard back from you. Are you okay? You know, something like that. And I will tell you, they always respond. Or, hey girl, I never heard back from you. Did I offend you somehow? You know, and so they'll definitely respond when you ask, you know, a question like that.
Yeah, I like that. And sometimes if I get kind of ghosted for like 3 follow-ups, you guys, number one, don't take it personally. Sometimes people just literally don't have the money. They might have something going on in their life that you don't know. But what I do in that, usually, like if they haven't talked to me in 3 or 4 times, I will just start to interact on all their posts. Because if I send them a compliment, they're like replying to it and they're like, thank you so much. And I'm like, I know you got my text. I don't say that, but I know they did. And I know that they're still watching me. And you guys, if you are doing your work each day, which is your stories and your posts, and you are sharing this opportunity, they are bound to want it and need it. So if you are giving that interaction, they're going to see it. They're going to see those posts. Okay. Let's see. So she basically asked, like, how do you approach people? So you guys, you got to take notes and listen, because she already shared that. She does a lot of host to posts, and after somebody hosts a post for her, the next day she will offer them the business. Just for me personally, I just go down my friends list. People always say, like, who do I message? I'm like, who do you not message? That's just me personally. Just like she goes down, sees who's active on your messenger. You guys, like, if you didn't know this, but on your messenger, it literally says like who's live or who's active. It's like the little the people with the green dots. That's who's on Messenger right now. Go to them first. She's doing host to post, signing her 60 customers, offering them the business. I personally go straight to offering them the business. I'm planting the seed right then and there. And then when I'm doing host to post, it's fair game for anyone and everybody. Don't overthink it. For me personally, I'll ask you how you do it. But actually, she sent me the message for me to share with you guys. But I just keep it really simple. Always use voice message. If you do not use voice message, it seems more spammy. It seems less personal. It's different from a couple years ago. A couple years ago, I could have typed out everything and it would have been fine, but now people want more personal. And so I will literally just say, hey, Amanda, I've been watching you for a little while. I think you'd be so freaking awesome at the business that I do. Like, have you ever thought about it? Do you even know what I do? Like, your kids are so cute. This could be perfect for you. I just say something like that. And I always put their name into it, and I always do voice message so that it is personal towards them. And I know that even if Amanda doesn't respond to me, she's going to start watching me now because she's going to see what I'm doing. Do you ever reach out to people, like, besides how you shared?
I will like go through and send out like messages, like especially like with this code, you know, or if I'm really like, if my goal is to get like tons of distributors that month, then I will send messages out. And it's going to be something very similar to that. And so a lot of my posts, that's how I get a lot of my distributors, is from my posts. Because if you went to my Facebook page right now, you would probably see one product post and the rest are all about the opportunity. But it's not like, hey, come join my team. Hey, you know, it's not like it works copy and paste messages. It is about how I get to stay home with my kids. It's about how, you know, I'm so like, we feel so blessed right now because, you know, a lot of people are, you know, stressed about going to work or the coronavirus and all this kind of stuff, but we get to wake up and be in our home that's safe. And I don't have to worry about going to work, you know? So we are posting a lot about our life, about how we travel, about how this business has blessed us, how I get to stay home. Like it's all about my kids all the time. But what happens is I get a lot of moms who are like, man, I wish I could do that. I want to stay home, but I also want to make money for my family. Or it's about, you know, maybe people who they're set. They have great financial, you know, income coming in, but maybe they want to travel. So I'm constantly like posting about my life and what this business is doing for it. And I don't just straight out say like it works or this. I say like, you know, I'm so blessed that, you know, this business has provided this life for us, or, you know, something like that. So that is really how I do it every single day. I make my story, you know, what are the 5 pillars that make you up? You know, they talked about this at the Scottsdale event, the 5 pillars that make you up. You know, for me, I'm a wife, I'm a boy mom. We love to travel. I love fitness. I love sugar. You know, my network, I'm big in my faith. My network knows that. Like, I have people send me recipes of like brownies and like, you know, all this stuff. They know that I don't cook. I had people send me messages all the time saying like, oh, you should try this. This is a simple recipe. You know, my network knows me because I talk about my life and who I am. But then that also makes it people watch me. And so they see it every day. And sometimes I'm like, man, I just posted that I was snuggling with my kids yesterday, but that is what people need to see. They need to see it over and over and over again.
Okay. So that, you guys, that's freaking like, that is this business. It's a lifestyle, period, end of story. So I'm going to ask you this because I feel like this is always, and I'm going to not say it's people's struggle, it's people's excuse, because guess what? At one point, one day, 7 years ago, I started this business and I made $0 with It Works before, and I had no success story. And Amanda started her business 6 years ago and she made $0. So how do you attract distributors with your posts without having this already success with the business?
Yeah. So, you know what? I always tell people that it is what you are putting out there. So if you are excited about getting to Ruby and making $500, you better be posting about that. If you're posting about what you want out of this business, like, you know, why did you guys join? You know, was it to pay off debt? Was it to stay home? Was it so that you can travel? Post about that. Post about why you started this business. You don't have to have success. I will tell you, it's probably easier for me and more, you know, easier for people to believe me that I was making $500 extra a month versus $30,000 extra a month, you know? So it was so much, it's more relatable for people. And so, you know, post about that, post about why you're doing it. And then pull in success stories, pull in Christy's success stories, pull in your leader's success stories, and really, you know, highlight them and say like, oh my gosh, like, look at this girl. Like, this is why I'm doing this, because she has given me hope, you know? So post about, again, what are the 5 pillars that make you up, and how can this business, you know, just enhance that? How can it bring value to other people? And then the other thing is show excitement, you guys, show confidence. I remember I wanted to go to Ruby. I went to Ruby in my first 30 days. And I remember there was like some kind of Christmas Ruby bonus or something. And I remember I was telling everybody, you guys, I didn't even have one distributor. And I remember it was like my first, you know, couple weeks in, and I got to Ruby very quickly because of this. I didn't have one distributor, and I was so dang far from Ruby. I think I had like, I don't know, 10 customers or something. But anyways, I was telling every single person that I came in contact, I can't believe, like, I'm getting Ruby this month. You guys, Ruby makes this amount. It's $500 extra a month. Like, can you believe it? Like, I just started and I'm going to be making $500 extra a month. Do you know, every single person, they believed me. Like, they believe me. And then I started believing myself, like, oh, I'm Ruby, you know? And I will tell you, I got so many people sign up like that 1 week that I was like, just had so much confidence. Even though I really didn't have confidence, I was just, you know, sharing that, you know, what this business is going to do for me. And so I was sharing that I was Ruby. They all thought by the end of the month that I was making $500. And then it happened. Because not only was I putting it out there, but I was putting it out there to every single person. And so they joined me because I was excited. They joined me because I was confident I was going to make money. And that gave them confidence.
I love that so much. So I always like to give everybody like a plan of action, and that just kind of tied it in perfectly. So you guys, how many of you guys are promoting? Put in the chat what you're promoting to this month. Because every single person should be working on a promotion. Like always, I'm working on a promotion. I might not be going double ambassador this month, but I'm working on Erin's promotion. No matter what, I'm always working on a promotion. Sometimes it's mine, sometimes it's other people's. I don't care. It's always on the step to my next promotion. So every single one of you guys is working on one, right? Ruby is the first one, Emerald, Diamond. Today might be your day one. You might have just signed up right now. But this gives you a plan of action, exactly what she just said. You guys, I can't believe I'm going Ruby. I'm going to be making $500 by the end of the month. I'm so freaking excited. I have girls, you guys, who maybe they earned a bonus last month. If you earned a bonus last month going Diamond, that should be on every single one of your posts. If you are going for a promotion this month and you are hitting it, you should be putting that on every single one of your posts. I don't care. You might think it's repetitive. You might think it's annoying. I don't care. If somebody sees I am hitting a $15,000 bonus, by the end of, April or May or March or whatever it is, I'm hitting a $15,000 bonus with a $2,000 monthly income. I'm so freaking excited. If you guys put that on every single one of your posts or stories or whatever, I can guarantee you people will start to believe you and will join you, because that's how it works. Like, it's casting a vision. That's all this business is. It's casting a vision, and then people will follow it. You guys were reading that book, like, hopefully as a team, we're reading the book. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Start with Why. And to me, it's just like, cast a vision, know where you're going, and know why you're doing it. And that's what this is. So everyone, your guys' plan of action is to do that. Set your goal. What are you promoting this month? And talk about it on every single, maybe every other one of your posts. Talk about it. What you're going to do with that income. I can't believe it. It might be why you're doing this. It might be what you've accomplished. It might be Amanda's story. But at the end or at the beginning, you're going to say, by the end of this month, my first month, I am going to be making $500 a month from my phone extra. Okay. So this is literally, you guys, this is your plan of action every single day. This is the problem. Some of you guys, you jump off here. I'm not saying the problem, but I'm just saying a new habit needs to be created. You jump off here and you're like, oh my gosh, Amanda was so inspiring. I'm so excited. I'm going to do everything she said, blah, blah, blah. And you do it for like 30 seconds. Like, when I say 30 seconds, it's like 2 full days. And you're like, oh, I'm not seeing the results. I'm going to stop. Oh, I posted my story and I didn't sign anyone. I said I was going Ruby and I didn't sign anyone. That's not what it's about. It's every single day, no matter what, like literally doing it regardless. And that's how the belief comes. And that's how people start to believe you. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So I'll just end on this. If you don't have anything else that you want to share, I think we pretty much got all the questions answered, but what is one thing that you wish you would have known when you started? Or your best tip.
Yeah, I always think about this. I think that the one thing I wish that I would have known would be probably just to just know that whatever rank I was going for, that if I just knew that it was already done, if I was willing to put the work into it, that it was already going to be done. So I think that a lot of not staying laser focused or letting, life happen, that kind of thing, definitely, I would say, distracted me in some areas. But I will say that if I would have known more about self-development, then that wouldn't have ever happened. So I would say if I would have known about self-development or learned about self-development the minute I joined, I honestly believe I would have been ambassador probably, so much sooner. And so I truly believe that self-development is what's going to carry any person to the rank that they want to get to. The work that we do, we always call them the core 4 on my team, the tasks that we do maybe it's a 6 list for you guys, but the tasks that we do every single day, messaging, adding people to our network, building relationships, posting, those tasks are so dang easy, right? So easy. I was always so consistent with what I needed to do, but my mindset was not matching up to what my work was. And so if we can increase our mindset and our self-development and tack on the work with that, you guys will literally be unstoppable. I would love to read something out of this book. Have you guys read
So we did as a team last month, but I'm sure there's 90% of people that didn't.
Okay. It literally, I just read it just maybe a couple months ago. But I swear my team probably hears me quote this all the time, but I think it is so, so good and so important. But it says that we all want the harvest because harvest time is so sweet. We want our season of reaping and enjoying the fruits of our labor, yet we spend too much time either complaining about why it hasn't come, or we get frustrated with the amount of work required to produce it. In the end, one of 2 things happen. Either 1, we don't get the harvest at all because we quit too soon, or when the harvest comes, we are incapable of maximizing it because we didn't prepare for it in advance. We're all anticipating something good is coming to us with our careers, our business, our faith, whatever it is. But while you're waiting for this thing to come, you have to prepare. So for that being said, we have to prepare for what we want. If I said, Lord, like I want to get ambassador. Like I want ambassador so bad. But if I wasn't preparing myself with the work that it took, with the self-development that it took, with me growing as a leader, with my mindset, there's no way, Lord, the Lord would give me this amazing team that I have if I didn't prepare myself. So, you know, how are you preparing yourself to get to Ruby this month? How are you preparing yourself to get to Emerald, Diamond, Double Diamond, Triple, Presidential Ambassador? You have to start with your mindset. You have to start with, you know, you believing that you're going to get there and making sure that you are filling up your mind, that you're letting the Lord lead you. You have to start with that, but then you also have to put the work behind it. You can do all the self-development you want. You can listen to all the Zooms that you want, but if you jump off here and you're like, oh, I'm going to start this tomorrow. No, you have to start tonight. You know, you have to get prepared tonight if you want success tomorrow. So, you know, you have to prepare yourself if you want that rank by the work and by the mindset that you are pouring into yourself every day.
I love that so much. So I would love to end on that, but that just reminded me of one thing. So you guys, when you went ambassador, I remember the month after that, you sharing the numbers, what you guys did. So can you just share that really quick? Because I just think that's like a God-sized vision and you just freaking made it happen. I think it's the coolest thing ever. So can you just share that really quick?
Yeah, of course. So it really was a God thing because there's no way I would be ambassador today if I didn't let the Lord lead. So we prepared all day. So like, you know, when you write your goals and, or not all day, months, but years, 6 years, but you know, when you do your dream boards. So in December, I wrote that I was going ambassador March 30th. And I had a game plan for amount that we needed, distributors that we needed. Like it was all set down to a T, and prayed about it every single day. Well, March happened and I was tracking my numbers every single day and I'm like, okay, we're good. This is good. Like we're looking really good. We might need maybe like 10,000 after income or after everything is ran on the 25th, but that will be so easy with a big team, everyone coming together. And so the 25th happened and everything ran through. And I remember asking in my push to ambassador group, I'm like, has auto shipments ran through yet? And everyone's like, yeah, everything's good. Like everything ran through. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure mine is broken because I was thinking I would only need 10,000 volume left to get to the rest of the month. But I actually need 46,000 volume. To get to ambassador, you need 250,000 volume. I ended on the 25th at nighttime at 213 volume. And I was like 213,000. And I was like, oh my gosh, like my stomach hurt. I felt like I was going to throw up. I'm like, how can I be off this much? Like, it was just like, I was just like, this isn't going to happen. And so doubt seeped in, fear seeped in. And I was like, I'm letting my team down. You know, I was like a mess. And I remember my husband came home and I can cry over this because it just changed everything. But, and I'm sick. I'm like, oh, I sound so horrible. But anyways, my husband came home with this thermometer. Have you guys seen that? It was a thermometer. I know Eliana said that she made one for like her debt, but you know, he came home with this thermometer and we needed 46,000 volume. And so he just kind of made it where each day we had to get, you know, at least a little over 10,000. And I'm like, okay, this seems so impossible, but I'm just going to push for it. And I prayed and I said, Lord, if you don't feel like I'm ready yet, like just show me, you know, just tell me that, you know, just show me the signs that I'm not ready. Like, you know, volume won't, you know, increase at all. And so, but I'm like, I'm just going to work as hard as I can. I literally stayed up till 2, 3 in the morning, woke up at 5 in the morning, like just worked as hard as I could. And I just said, Lord, like, just please lead us. And so the first day, you guys, like, it increased by like 6,000 and we needed like 11,000. I'm like, oh, okay. The next day it increased by like, you know, another 8,000. So every day it was kind of going up, but not where we needed it at all. But our team was so involved. Everyone was at their rank that they needed to go, but everyone was still pushing because we just needed that group volume. And so our team is just so amazing. But anyways, we just kind of let God lead. And I will tell you, on my dream board, everywhere in my house, it said Ambassador March 30th. And March 30th, we went over 250,000 volume. So we still had one day to spare. I never even bought out a penny for my ambassador and my team. Like, it was just so amazing. And so I think we increased the month. We went over like almost 60,000 volume in like 4 days. So
I love that so much. It's so like inspiring because it's sometimes we just need to hear the numbers to be like, okay, Amanda did it. I can do it. You know, I just think that's freaking amazing. And I think it's 100% because you were ready and you led them into that and you had that perfect vision for them. So I think that is just so awesome. And I'd love to end on that. So thank you so much, Amanda, for being on for us. And we appreciate you. And she just went double diamond on her 2.0 account in, was it January?
January, yeah.
Yeah. So she's just doing it all over again. It's fine. So I am so excited, and I'll see you at the next either Margaritaville or next Top 20 retreat, whatever it is. I'll see you there.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Sorry, my voice.
No, you're fine. We appreciate you, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.